welcome to the Northern Counties East League podcast. I'm Richard Watts. I'm now joined by League General Manager Matt Jones.
Hello and welcome to the official podcast of the Northern Counties East League. The weekend's league action decided the final two Premier Division playoff spots and extended the Division 1 title race. Beverley Town and Thackley secured their playoff positions with wins. Both teams won their matches, with Beverley defeating Tadcaster Albion 1-0 and Thackley winning 3-0 against Barton Town. That allows them to advance in the promotion playoffs at the expense of Albion Sports, who miss out by 2 points after a 3-1 defeat at Handsworth on the final day. Champions Silsden ended their season with an incredible victory, winning 6-4 away at Rossington Main to finish 9 points clear at the top of the table. Rather unusually, all 10 goals in the game were scored by 10 different players. Second place Hallam were pegged back for a 3-3 draw by an injury time equaliser from James Isles for visitors Goole. An excellent point for the Vikings, but they still end the season in bottom spot as they were overtaken on goal difference by Winterton Rangers, who grabbed a vital victory, winning 2-1 against Knaresborough Town. Elsewhere, third place Golco were beaten 2-1 at Parkgate, and Penistone Church ended the season with a 7-2 home win over Frickley Athletic to ensure an 8th place finish for themselves. In Division 1, the title race remains tight as all three title-chasing teams achieved crucial victories, and the battle to avoid relegation between Dronfield Town and Nostell was decided. Horbury Town, Wakefield and Wombwell Town all won their matches, keeping the title race competitive as Horbury maintains a 4-point lead at the top. Horbury opened their new stand on Saturday before recording a 2-0 victory over Louth Town to keep the fate of the title in their own hands. Wakefield were 2-0 winners at Athersley Recreation, while Wombwell remain in contention after a convincing 5-0 win at Armthorpe Welfare. Ilkley Town guaranteed themselves the last remaining promotion playoff spot with a 4-1 home win over bottom side Yorkshire Amateur, a result that ended the hopes of the only other side in playoff contention, Worsborough Bridge Athletic, who were beaten 4-1 at Appleby Frodingham. In the race to avoid relegation, Dronfield Town were confirmed a bottom three spot as Harley Adams' 90th minute winner saw visitors Selby Town grab a 3-2 victory. That leaves Chris Millington's side 4 points behind Nostell Miners Welfare with one game remaining for Dronfield, who secured their Northern Counties East League status by winning 1-0 at Glasshoughton. Elsewhere, there were hat-tricks for both Joshua Batty and Dale Hudson as Brigg Town jumped up into 6th with an 8-0 home victory over Swallownest, and Louis Seddons was the match winner for Club Thorn Colliery as they defeated visitors South Leeds 1-0. Durnan District, who had already secured themselves a playoff spot, were 2-1 home victors over Shelley, while Maltby Main beat host Harrogate Railway Athletic 2-0. On to this weekend, where we see the semi-finals of the Premier Division playoffs take place. Hallam welcomed Thackley to Sandygate, where another bumper crowd is expected. At the time of recording this podcast, over 900 tickets have already been sold for the game. Hallam are hoping for their fourth crowd of over 1,000 people this season. The other semi-final sees Golkey United welcome Beverley Town, with the winners advancing to next week's final with a place in next season's Northern Premier League at stake. There's a full set of 11 matches in Division 1, where most eyes will be on Maltby Main, where Horbury Town can claim the title with a win.
Next up, NCEL talk. I'll hand straight over to host Aaron Walton.
Well, it's come to the business end of the season on the podcast, and I've got a full house with me tonight. I've got Adam, Jordan, Bob, Si, and me, Aaron. So, hello, everybody.
Good evening. Good evening. Hello.
So, let's start, and me and Bob will take a backward step, Bob, because it's all happening in Division 1, isn't it?
It certainly is.
Let's start with the nail-biting tales in Division 1. So, top of the table then, Horbury. They beat a much-revived Louth Town, didn't they, at the Pulse Hire Stadium, 2-0. So, nice to see Joe Jagger scoring on the score sheet and Bojan with a late goal. Settle the nerves. How was the game then, Jordan?
Well, first of all, can you hear me? And then we'll go from there.
I can hear you.
It's a good start. Right. Well, yeah, a nail-biting affair. Obviously, with a lot at stake. But the boys knowing that 2 wins at this stage, no matter what happens and results elsewhere, means that we don't have to worry about those other results, and the trophy comes back to WF4. Yeah, a bit of a nervy first 20 minutes. I think Louth just kind of sat back and just wanted to frustrate us. We got the goal after, I think, about half an hour from, as you said before, Joe Jagger. Great for him to get back on the score sheet. He's finally getting back to full fitness now, which is great. He'll definitely be needed on Saturday. And then like 5 minutes into the second half, Louth had 2 really good chances, and you're thinking, oh no, surely it's not gonna happen. I think they hit the bar, and then they missed a pretty easy chance out wide, just past the post. And then we got a second with the way that Horbury score quite a lot of the goals. Fast, front-paced football. Joe Jagger nicked the ball on the halfway line to put us in a 3-on-1. We played it out wide, played it through on goal, and we squared it and we scored. And a lot of celebrations. And probably a lot of relief from fans, management, and volunteers that we won in a nervy 1-0 scoreline, and then pretty comfortable from that point on. So just the one win needed now for us.
Certainly is. And you opened your new stand as well, I see on social media.
Yes, we did. Yes, we got the mayor of Wakefield down. He used to be the Labour leader of Horbury, so he's been down a few times, worked closely with the mayor. So we got him down to open the new stand, which was great. Good crowd, over 300. A lot of family, a lot of children, which was great, and a lot of junior kids as well, which was brilliant. A good day all round.
Yeah, brilliant. And it looks mighty impressive, that stand, if I may say so.
Well, yeah, it does to most people, but maybe not the odd person.
You'll always get
you always get them, yeah.
Doesn't matter what you do.
Exactly, yeah. It's exactly the same as what we do have on the top side of the pitch, albeit it's got no seats in. But we've managed to be able to do it for a quarter of what it cost someone else to come in. So one of our volunteers, Phil Taylor, has been working tirelessly over the season to get that sorted.
Well done, Phil. It looks brilliant. And for all those people who grumble and moan, for us who go to games, we love to be undercover. So thank you very much. So if we come to Horbury next season with Barton Town, at least we're undercover. So that's the main thing. So that's Horbury. So could Wakefield and Woolwell keep up the pace? Well, let's go over to Si. Wakefield, away at Athersley Rec. How did it go?
2-0 in this one, as Jordan was saying, with Horbury, obviously knowing that they had to win the 2 games to win the title. We knew that winning our next 2 games would take it to the last day. I won't do any foreshadowing for Tuesday's game, but this one we did put away. 2-0. Athersley put up, a good battle. They're a good side that can frustrate anyone. We got a goal in the first half, a penalty from a handball, and then in the second half, it took us a bit to break them down to try and get that second one. And it was one of those games where, like John was saying with theirs, like you wonder if someone's going to nick a goal back. And luckily, we managed to then get a second one to kind of put the game to bed. With Mogashi playing in Jaden Sandu to get the goal to seal the win in that one. But yeah, it was a good afternoon out as well. And the people who did that walk that we mentioned last week as well, the charity walk from Wakefield to Athersley, raised over £500, walking from Wakefield to the ground there as well, for Andy's Man Club and for one of the Athersley Rec players who'd got a double leg break earlier in the season. So well done to all those guys that did that.
Yeah, certainly well done. So that was Wakefield, done and dusted. 2-0 win. Woolwell, though, they dismantled Amthorpe, didn't they? 5-0. Wow. So that was a good win. So that's all keeping up the pressure. So
they actually played 80 minutes with 10 men as well, did Woolwell. It was 0-0, and after 9 minutes, the keeper got sent off. But then they still won 5-0, so yeah.
Wow, blooming it. That's brilliant, that, considering that the keeper's got sent off. So that's even better for Woolwell. So Durham District kept up the good form, didn't they, by going and beating Shelley 2-1. All the goals scored in a 13-minute window in the first half. So, well done to Durham District, and obviously they're booked in for the playoffs, aren't they? And Ilkley Town brushed aside Yorkshire Amateurs 4-1 to again keep that winning form going and into the last weekend of fixtures elsewhere. So they're sort of all, we sort of know really who's going to be in the playoffs, don't we? Apart from two teams. So we'll come on to that later. Appleby Frodingham, they sort of closing the season. They beat Wasborough 4-1. Doesn't help Frodingham, however, but that's probably their best win of the season. I'm not sure if they got some early on, but that's probably the best win of the season. Brigtown, oh dear, so much so late. Hierarchy wanted a reaction, didn't they, to the new management team of Steve McCarran and Martin Pembleton? And they certainly got it, didn't they? 8 of the best against Wallenest. 2 hat-tricks for Josh Batty and Dale Hudson. And that's 37 for the Batmeister this season. And with a game against Wakey away to come, could he add to his mighty tally? One never knows. Got to keep him quiet. Clubthorne beat South Leeds in a close contest, 1-0. And the already doomed Dronfield Town lost by the odd goal against Selby 3-2. And Nostell finishing with a flurry, continue with a 1-0 win away at Glasshoughton. With that, another good goal machine. Nostell's Grashan Klimchak, I think I've pronounced it right, 22 for this season. And to be honest, that's not a bad goal tally for a team who have been down at the bottom, isn't it, really? It's a really good goal tally.
And Nostell winning, it guaranteed them staying up, didn't it, for that result?
Yeah.
After Dronfield lost, you know.
I'm just wondering if one or two teams might be looking at Mr. Klimchak. If he can score in a team that aren't performing particularly well all season, they might want him in their team. One never knows. So Harrogate Rail lost out at home to Maltby Main 2-0 with another goal meister on target, Ash Flynn. That's 34 for the season. So that's all done and dusted for now on the Saturday in the Division 1. And if we quickly look at the Premiership, that finally closed the curtain, didn't it, with all the... Well, almost. There was a midweek game, wasn't there, Bob? Handsworth and Knaresborough. All eyes were on the 3 teams vying for the last 2 playoff spots. Beverley Town left it incredibly late to beat Tadcaster away 1-0. The highly talented Lucas Lubrich in the 90th minute. That saw Tadcaster Albion's manager, Mick O'Connell, part ways, didn't they? It's sad to see.
He's been there a couple of seasons, hasn't he?
Well, he came in, he stabilised them, didn't he, when they came down, and obviously they weren't happy with this season, and I think he's done okay, to be honest. I like Mick.
And the thing is, they lost the top scorer to Beverley, didn't they, halfway through the season? Which wouldn't help.
Yeah, it doesn't help, does it? So, and this is what they've got to put up with. But I wish Mick all the best, and I'm sure he'll be in management again pretty soon because he's a really good, talented manager, and I don't think he'll be out of work soon. So Albion, they needed results away at a tricky Handsworth on the old 4G at Oliver's Mount. Albion are obviously no strangers to the touch of the 4G as they play home games at the Horsefall Stadium. Again, another 4G pitch. But Albion lost out 3-1, didn't they? So Handsworth taking the lead on 27 minutes. Then 2 quick goals from both teams. And Harry Jessup scoring 2 minutes after to make it 3-1. An insurmountable mountain to climb for Albion. So Albion were sort of looking to see possibly what Thackley could do. Well, Thackley were at home at the old Denny Field against my team, Barton Town. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, we're so happy the season's finished. Barton Town lost 3-0. Slater Barnes, of course, an ex-Wakefield and Golka man, scoring after 14 minutes for the Denny boys. And then early in the second half, Anthony Brown, who's always been a thorn in Barton's side, scored a second for Thackley. And then Luke Rhodes put the icing on the cake to make it 3. Good crowd there at Denny Field, 268. So it's Thackley booking their place in the playoffs with Beverley. So Thackley play Hallam away, or at Hallam's ground, and Beverley Town away at Golka. We'll have a look at them later on to see who we fancy. In other matches, the bottom two sides showing some excellent form that can hopefully continue into next season. So, Bob, over to you. I see you busting to go. What a great game.
Well, it was. But the Hallam pitch got that famous slope. We played up the slope in the first half. We got a penalty about 2 or 3 minutes in, which we converted. Thought it was going to be a good day. But then Hallam came back strongly and scored 3 goals in the space of 10 minutes.
Wow.
So after 17 minutes, it was 3-1. We all thought, oh, it's going to be one of those days again. But credit to the lads that they held on to half-time 3-1. And then the second half with the slow, Ewan Healy's got a cracking shot just outside from the penalty area early on in the second half, make it 3-2. And then that man, Jimmy, popped up in the 90th minute to get us the equaliser, 3-3. But we just couldn't get that winner because with the other result, Winterton winning, it consigned us to the bottom on goal difference. And the thing is, if you're second bottom, you've always got a chance of a reprieve. But as you know, when you're the bottom, you won't get a reprieve. But at least we know where we're standing for next year. We're playing Division 1. But we took a busload of supporters, which was funded by the supporters club. They put their bus on. And I have to say, at the end, the supporters were really happy that we saw how the team played and could see the positive sign. I mean, after 24 games, we had 9 points. In the next 14, we've got 18. So we are going in the right direction. So sometimes you've got to take a step back to go forward. And that's what we're probably thinking for the next season, you know. But the club announced the day before that they are keeping Rian on Rian Potts and Jamie Smith to build on what we've had in the last 14 games, which I think is the correct decision because there have been too many changes at Gould in the last few seasons.
Stability is the key word, Bob.
Yeah, that's what we need at Gould. Yeah. And so I think it's a good move. So we look forward to next season because obviously the 3G will be laid then. The new stand won't be ready, but we were still with the play at Gould and hopefully the future could be a bit brighter for us. With fingers crossed.
I think it will. You've got a lot of new teams to play. You might attract a few more fans. You've got something to build on because you've got that stability there. So I think it's, like you say, a step back to step forward. 1 step back, 2 steps forward, let's hope.
Yeah, but credit to Winterton. I mean, they won the last 2 games because I thought we were going to be safe at 19th, but credit to them, they won the last 2 games. So because it was a new manager, isn't it? Robbie Starr.
Robbie Starr, yeah.
Yeah, so he's worked wonders.
Ex-Winterton man himself when he was playing. He's played for a host of clubs, played for Barton Town. But as I said, Winterton Rangers also got a good win. 2-1 at home to Knaresborough. Possibly Knaresborough taking the foot off the gas a bit, looking for one eye on that JCP Construction Trophy on May the 6th. But it's still a good 2-1 win. And that's 2 out of 2 for the new gaffer, Robbie Starr, isn't it? So he's looking hopefully to build on for next season. Campion beat Bottersford to end a run of wretched form for Campion. They won 3-1. Parkgate. I think Parkgate have had a good season. First season back. A lot of the players who came up from last season were pulled and pilfered to other teams. So there was having to start with reasonably new canvas and a lot of young lads. And they beat Golka 2-1. As I say, to commit a very good campaign back in the Premiership. Finishing 11th on 52 points. So well done to everybody involved at Parkgate there. Penistone Church brought the curtain down on Steve Lenthal's managerial career for Penistone with a 7-2 victory over Frickley. So I see you got a guard of honour going off the pitch, and Steve's been there a long while. So I wish him all the best in his retirement, Stephen. And I see Brett Lovell, and I can't remember who the other guy is, taking over. Can you remember, Bob?
John Whitehead. Co-manager John
Whitehead. Old Whitehead, yes.
I've got to know.
Yeah, they're taking over. So again, they don't sort of change too much at Penistone. They keep the ball rolling. And I think that's really good for Penistone to have those 2 guys in charge. Let's have a look. Pickering Town and Eccleshill United played out a 1-1 draw. And an absolute goal fest at Oxford Road. Rossington losing out to champions-elect Silsden 6-4. Now, that's Adam's team when it can go to watch them. I suppose you want there, Adam, you'll be watching your beloved Doncaster, wasn't you?
Yeah, I were in Cheltenham, but we had an early kick-off, so following the result quite closely. And to be honest, I couldn't believe what I was seeing when when I was seeing all updates coming. It was crazy. I mean, I was checking now and again. I saw obviously 1-0, 1-1, and then 3-3 at half time, and then check again about 20 minutes later, it's 5-3, and then full time it's 6-4. I mean, yeah, certainly NCEL with a bang. Whichever way you want to look at it, but yeah, like I said, shame to lose last two games of the season, but you know, I've said it quite a few times. Been a lot of changes at Rosso and stuff like that. Lost a lot of experience, obviously changing manager and stuff like that. So finished 13th in the end, which after last season, it on paper it seems pretty disappointing, but it could have been a lot worse at the same time as well, with just the amount of changes and players going out, new young players coming in, stuff like that. So hopefully I've got someone, like I say, they can rebuild a bit, get a bit of experience in there as well, because like so Ross, Hannah, Greg Young, you don't know if it's how much longer they're going to carry on for. So yeah, be interesting to see how it goes next season.
Definitely will at Rossington. I think they'll do all right next season.
Yeah.
So
what was remarkable about that game, though, did you notice, guys? 10 different scorers. That must be a record.
Yeah,
it must be. Yeah, 10 different scorers. Wow. I bet the scorekeeper. I bet the referee's pencil broke. It was putting that many players down. Hope he could spell better than me. Anyway, so that was the finish of the Premiership. So we're all done and dusted. We know who's playing who. We know Silsden the champions, etc., etc. So midweek again, we'll go back into Division 1. Incredibly important 2 games. They know what they had to do. Wakefield played Maltby Main. Si, I'm going to go over to you.
Can we go to Woolwell first? Okay, that's fine.
There's nobody from Woolwell on here.
I've been dreading this part for 2 days because it's so difficult. Because you know, I don't want to be too down about it and stuff. But obviously, we're going to get to the point where we'd recovered from the shocking start to the season we had. We got back towards the top and thought, if we just win this match, we take it into the last day, and then fluffed it. But yeah, it just wasn't. Maltby were much better on the night, deserved the win. Ash Flynn, that's what I want to call it, like a masterclass, but he's a quality striker, and never got his chance to show when he was at Wakefield what he could do. But certainly did in this one. Scored a penalty in the first half, which looked about fair. There was a player got a nudge in the back, sort of recovering. And you're going to go down in that sort of situation. Gives the referee no choice really. So they took the lead through a penalty, and we thought, right, we need to bounce back in the second half. And then within 8 minutes of the second half starting, Ashes played through on goal and manages to slot home to make it 2-0. And probably had another couple of chances as well to add to that for his hat trick, but pulled it wide a couple of times. Pulled one back on 90 minutes, and you thought, I mean, even then, it wouldn't have made any difference at that point because we needed to win. So even if we'd have managed to snatch a draw, it wouldn't have changed anything. We needed a win. So yeah, bit disappointing, but we know what we've got to do now. We know we've got playoffs. The other 2 teams have still got something to play for, and best of luck to them. We are where we are, and we just got to recover and try again now.
So that's your team. So that's Wakefield. So Woolwell, they needed a victory to keep their championship fight going, didn't they? And what was the score?
2-0 to Woolwell, that one. Jock Curran, who's played for both Wakefield and Horbury, actually getting the goal for Woolwell in that one. That's quite something with the other 2 teams that are in there. Getting the first goal, and Jack Dando with the second.
Has Jack Dando played for you as well?
Not for us, no.
Oh, I can't remember who he's played for. Yeah, but so Wilmwell taking it down to the last Saturday of the season then.
I think Wunwell also had 10 men again in this game for 80 minutes once again. Their winger, Josh Nodder, got sent off and it were 0-0 at the time. There were a few Horbury players and staff at the Wakefield game looking at the phones thinking, hey, there's a chance we might win this tonight. And then we see that Jock Curran scores. Like, yeah, as we just said, that he's played for both sides. We're thinking, no, it's going to the last day then.
Yeah. So they make it 2-0. So up to second for the Wellers. Wakefield are definitely in the playoffs. Do we know who you've got yet? Or is that to be decided?
It depends on what happens on Saturday. The slim chance we have of finishing second is if Warnwell lose and we win. Then we could pip them on goal difference.
Yeah.
But chances are, I'd say I'm 90% sure we're going to be playing Durn, and whoever finishes second is going to be playing Ilkley.
Well, you'll definitely get a home tie though, so
yeah. Well, home tie for the semi. It'd be nice to finish second, then you've got it for the final as well. But we definitely know we've got home for the semi, as has whoever finishes second. Yeah.
So that's sort of sorted out type of thing. Anyway, Horbury Town. If we look at Saturday, then because it's all down to Saturday to sort this out. Horbury Town away at Maltby Main. So you all go down to Muglet Lane.
We do.
Have you been to Muglet Lane before, Jordan?
No, it'll be a first time for everyone.
Wow. The pitch is a lot better than it used to be at Maltby. So it used to be all over the place, but they've done a hell of a lot of work at Maltby, and the pitch is in a better state. It'll probably be a bit dry, but it's well worth a visit to Muglet Lane.
Did you see, guys? It's a pay what you want on that Saturday, so it should be a big crowd.
Oh, well,
I'm hoping to get myself there as well. Hopefully, because Rovers have got 12:30 kick-off and it's just down the road, so hopefully I should be able to make that.
Oh, that'll be. Will we be getting one of your blogs on there then, Adam?
You will indeed.
Oh, excellent.
Hopefully we get the right result, and then you've got lots of vlog.
Yeah, I'm hoping to as well. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, so let's fingers crossed that Horbury do the business. So Woolwell Town, they play Athersley Rec at home, so it's never a given, but if they have 11 men on the pitch, they might lose. You never know. So what we want is nobody sent off for Woolwell, because they seem to play better with 10 men, don't they? Who else we got? You play Brig. Wakefield play Brig Town at home, don't you?
We do, yeah.
It'd be interesting.
It'd be interesting to see what we do this one. But is it one where you kind of do you do something to prepare for the semis? It's almost a bit. We sort of have that slim chance a second, I suppose, if we won and Athersley won. But it's more about just getting some confidence back, I think, really now.
It is putting a performance into, and like you say, confidence, going into the playoff. So who else have we got? We've got Durnan District home to South Leeds, and Ilkley Town playing Louth Town away. That's probably got to be the longest away journey trip in the league, hasn't it?
I think it's about
the last day of the season.
Yeah, I think it's about 240 mile round trip. I think.
Jesus, wow, that's some journey.
Yeah,
I hope the referee's fairly local. Otherwise, his expenses will be as big as a shopping list from Sainsbury's, won't it?
It will.
So, bloody neck. Anyway, going on. The bottom two play each other, don't they? At Bracken Edge, Yorkshire Amateurs, they play Appleby Frodingham. So that'll be an interesting one. And Dronfield Town, the other team, obviously have been possibly relegated, play away at Shelley. So that's all to do in Division 1. And Clubthorne play Swallownest, Nostell play Harrogate, Selby Town play Glasshoughton, and Wasborough Bridge play Armthorpe. So now going back to midweek, Athersley lost out to Clubthorne, didn't they, 2-0?
We did.
And Louth Town beat Glasshoughton 3-2 at Leeds Road. So Louth Town doing well. So, and there was a very, 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 very important game at Beverley, wasn't there, Tuesday night?
Yes. Beverley won 3-2 on the. I think they scored in the 90th minute. I think Beverley to get the winner.
The 90th minute. I
Best
saw
time to score.
our good friend Joe Skelton was there doing his blog. Beverley went 2-0 up, looking like they were coasting at half time, second half, and it was a completely different game as Silsden got one back, and then Robbie Fox scored a lovely goal to make it 2-2. Then it was a little bit backwards and forwards. Not a massive amount of quality football played, but it was exciting. And then Cam Connolly came up in the 90th minute to squeeze it in the bottom corner to make it 3-2 to Beverley. And believe it or not, Cam Connolly had two easier chances early on in the second half and fluffed both of them and scored the hardest one. So well done to Beverley. So they have had one hell of a season, haven't they, really, when you think about it?
Yeah.
Who was it that said Beverley last week when we were doing this preview? I know I said Silsden, so it wasn't me, but there was one person that said Beverley. Was it you, Aaron?
Possibly because I'm scared of Dave Ricardo.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. We went to Silsden.
So, yeah, well, I know Dave well because he was Barton Town's manager, so I know Dave well, and I know the other two guys who help him out as well. So well done to Beverley. Look forward to going to the final and see how they get on. I quite fancy Beverley actually against Knaresborough. Knaresborough are a difficult team to beat. Got a wonderful keeper, but I fancy Beverley. And it's at the Attis Arena at Scunthorpe United. We were there last year, weren't we, Bob, watching Parkgate beat Emley?
Yeah, that was a good game, that wasn't it?
It was a very good game. Parkgate were. I think if Parkgate could have kept that team together, yes, I think they would have been up near the playoffs this season. Don't you, Bob?
They had Ross Duggan leading the attack, but I think he left Parkgate, didn't he?
He did.
I don't know where he's gone now, but he was the main man at front.
Yeah.
Is it Claycross now?
Is he at Claycross?
Yeah.
Thanks, Adam. So, I think Ross has had more clubs than Arnold Palmer, hasn't he? So there you go. So Beverley Town versus Knaresborough Town at the Attis Arena, Tuesday the May the 6th. If you all want to get down and watch the game, support the two teams and the NCEL League. So there was a few more games, weren't there? West Riding County Cup semi-final, Bob, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was Campion and Route 1. Is it Route 1 Rovers? And Route 1 Rovers, they won 2-1, didn't they?
They did. Route 1 Rovers, yeah. Bradford team as well. I don't know if they could possibly come into our league. I'm not sure.
I've heard a few talks that they could be potentially moving sideways.
Yeah, moving sideways, yeah.
They share grounds with Steeton, don't they?
I'm not sure, but it's just our luck to get rid of Silsden, and then we get Route 1 Rovers in, and we're just on the corner. Steeton's just round the corner from Silsden, isn't it? So, but I don't know. Anyway, so that was that one. So Campion have bowed out at the semi-finals. It'd have been nice for Campion to get to the finals. And the NCEL Premier Division's last game, Handsworth 4, Knaresborough Town 1. A good crowd there at Oliver's Mount, 213. So Handsworth are having a strong finish to the season. So who's our club of the week then? So I'll go to...
You want to do the playoffs first, though, for Saturday?
Go on, Bob.
The playoffs, because we've done the Division 1 playoffs. It's Goldcart home to Beverley. That'll be a good game. And then Hallam home to Thackley. And Thackley's got to contend with that slope, So, I think Hallam, I think I've read it somewhere. I think they've sold 700 tickets already on their website, they were saying, at least.
Yeah. I think it's 1,100 now.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, it's going to be packed, isn't it?
Yeah. Be a good atmosphere.
Yeah. So, who do we fancy, boys? Who do we fancy for that? Hallam or Thackley?
No, you've got to go. Yeah, you've got to go with Hallam.
Yeah, Hallam.
On the long pitch. Yeah.
You all going to go for Hallam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the second game is a lot closer to call, I think, Golcar and Beverley.
Golcar and Beverley. So who do we think then? Bob, who do you think?
Well, because I've got Ollie Russell and Cal Petru, ex-goal players, I'll plump for Golcar because I don't want to upset them.
Okay.
But it'd be tough.
Who are you going to go?
Do they have extra time in these playoffs, or do they go straight to penalty?
Do you know what? That's a good question.
I think it's straight to penalties because last season anyway, when we were in lost in the playoffs after 90 minutes, it went straight to penalties. So I'm guessing it's the same this year, but not 100%.
Yeah. I think that match could go to penalties. Be that close.
Beverley and Golcar and Beverley. Yeah. So, who do you think, Si? Who do you think is going to win between the two?
I'm going to take Beverley on that one because they're on a bit of form.
Yeah. Jordan?
Beverley for me.
Yeah. Come on, Adam. Who do you think?
It's a tough one because Beverley's on form, but Golcar's own record's really good. I think, like I say, I think it could go to penalties. I'm gonna go Golcar on penalties.
Golcar on penalties. Well, I'm gonna go. Depending what team they've got out, I'm gonna go Beverley Town 2-1. Beverley Town 2-1. So I could be wrong, but it all depends what team they've got out, as well as Golcar. So they've got the James Piercy at the back. He played really well on Tuesday night, like a man mountain. Superb, headed everything. So it's a good job the referee didn't get in the way. They'd headed him as well. So that's that one. So our clubs of the week then, or team of the week. I'll go with Jordan, your team of the week.
I'm going to go for Beverley Town. Our good friends at Beverley. Obviously, they scored in the last minute, which has put them in the playoffs, albeit I think they would have been in the playoffs anyway, even if it had been 0-0. And then, obviously, the fantastic win in the League Cup against Silsden. So, rooting for them in the playoffs and in the League Cup final.
So that's Beverley Town for you, Jordan. Si?
I had them in contention, but I'm going to go for Woolwell then. Did what we couldn't do. Took the 2 wins they needed to try and take it to last day of the season.
Yeah.
Especially with 10 men in both matches as well. So yeah.
Yeah, let's hope they have 11 on Saturday. No, that's very, very magnanimous of you, Si. Well done. Who have we got now? Bob?
Yeah, well, I'm going to agree with Sam. I'm going to go for Woolwell. 5-0 at Armthorpe and 2-0 at Harrogate. 7 goals without reply. They're in good form, and they've got a chance of the championship. But it's not in their hands; it's all in Horbury's hands. But they've got a chance, haven't they? So they would be my team of the week.
That's good. And Adam,
I'm going to go for the team who closed the Prem season off. I'm going with Handsworth. 2 very good wins against Albion and Knaresborough. Like I said, nothing really to play for, but we're still going out and got 2 solid wins and finished kind of best of the rest who were just outside of the playoffs.
Yeah, I think they just kept that the momentum going. I think they would have been up there, but they sometimes drop off a little bit. But definitely a team to contend with for next season. And I'm going to chuck my 2 pence in. I'm going to go with Winchton Rangers simply because they've had a torrid season. And with the new managers come in and they've had 2 wins. So well done, Robbie Start. And let's hope that is the start of Winterton's revival. So well done. Well done to them. So if I can just close on, we've gone through everything. I don't think I've missed everything, have I? Bobby, you usually know if I've missed anything.
No, I think you've covered everything, Aaron.
Thank you very much. I usually do write my notes back to front sometimes, so I miss a page out. Just looking at crowds, I was surprised when I looked at the Premiership, as a whole, the NCEL Prem, down by 6.5%. I was very surprised with that, wasn't you, Bob?
Yeah, but there was nearly 700 at Hallam, so even for because that game on Saturday, really Hallam they were cemented in second place, so they made 1 or 2 changes. There was nothing to play for, but at least 700 people turned out. But there was probably about 60 from Goole, though. But it was a good crowd, you know.
That's good, yeah. Yeah, so that was another good crowd at Hallam, wasn't it? It would have been superb. Penistone had 402 there, so they always get behind the team, don't they? Taddy had 296 there. I think there's quite a few from.
I was going to say that.
Was there? Were they playing Beverley, weren't they?
Yeah.
I know Beverley always take a bus full with them. The old Jolly Boys outing.
That's it for this edition. If you've got any news for the podcast or you'd like to appear on the podcast, please email ncelpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.